Start recording. Alright. So this is a form I give you, and it's including some metadata information, a lot of comments here, and go over to the bottom. And it is the real HTML, including this. In the body we have a container. In the container we have a form wrap. And inside the form wrap we have this h1 sign up, which is this guy. We have a paragraph. It's free and only takes a minutes. That's this paragraph over here, and then we have the whole form, right? For the whole form, we have different divisions. The first one has class is equal to form group, contains a label and an input. It's for the first name, right? Label, first name. It's for the first name, and then we have input for the first name, which is this input box. And also after it, we also have a few pairs of them. This pair is this form group is for the last name, and next one is for the email, and next one is for the password, and the last one is for confirm password, including some IDs, some classes, and so here you see for the labels, all labels contains an attribute called for. Right, this label it says it's for first name, and this is for last name, and this is for email. So this for attribute is actually very useful when you want to make some mobile friendly website. So what it does, if you have input, it has ID is equal to first name, right? The ID of this is first name, and for the label it says this is for first name. That means when you click on this label itself, let me be bigger. So when I click on this first name itself, it's equivalent to click this input. Just give you some more extra space. You can click it. You can click the label instead of clicking the input itself. Oops, sorry, that's not meant. Yeah, you can click the label for the to target on that input. This is very useful when you're working on this on the mobile phones, right? Mobile phone you have some fat finger, small screen, so you have to give you extra space to click. Right? You can click the label to target on the input. That is what the for is for, right? Just for first name, and you also need to have the same ID for the input, right? This two have to be equivalent. For first name, ID first name. For last name, ID last name. For email, ID email, right? For password, ID password. And sometimes, usually, when you create input, you can also have a name attribute, which is equal to first, which is some name of this unique name for this input in this form. This is going to be used in the future. We're not using this right now. It's going to be used when we really submit this form, and this is going to be the way looking for the data that the user input there, and we're going to call their name to getting that value when we're getting into those data in the future, right? So usually when you create input, you're going to have some name and some ID, and yeah, both of them is supposed to be unique. Right, that's it for the HTML, and after those form groups, we have a button. The button type is submit, just this sign up button. We click it, it just submit the form, right? And we have a paragraph says by clicking the sign up, you agree with our term conditions and the privacy policies. And then we outside of the div. This div closes the does this close. If you just click that, it's gonna highlight it for you, and also gonna highlight the div you opened with it. So this is div for form wrap, right? Everything from here to here, as in form wrap, right? From here to down here. That's in the division form wrap. And outside of the form wrap, I have a footer. The footer says already have account and login here, right? That's just a link, not really working. So all of the things, like both the form and the footer, they are in the container, right? They're in the container. We have a container outside of everything.
In the what area?
In the container class. So here we have a div, have ID with container. That is outside of everything. That is a parent of the whole parts. Where is that? See, this is my form wrap and footer. So here we have a container. Div ID with container. That is the ID is just anything you give it. We'll really call it container because it contains everything, and we can add in some style to move it around. We have a div container and put everything inside it, and we will be able to end if we want to ending something like we want to move everything to the middle. I can just ending the attribute, ending the style to this container ID, so it's going to be move everything to the middle, right? Right. So then let's take a look over the styles. In the style tag, we are using the internal CSS, which means we have put all our style into a style tag, but it's still in the same file. This is not the best practice, but it's going to be enough for this exercise because we only have one file, right? If we have more than one file, it's better to have external CSS. But since we only have one file, it's fine to just using internal CSS. And inside the internal CSS here, I already leave you many comments here. Remember the comments? They do not do anything, just for developers. Just remind you what it's going to be here. So in here, I told you like for example here, star means everything. That will be a style you want to add into everything. I leave some hints in the comments. This may want to add in some border box for box sizing, so padding doesn't affect the width. And also you want to reset the margin and padding inside it. And then for the body, we can set the background color to this one. For the links, I want to remove the underlines because the underlines are ugly. And we want to, for the container, we can move stuff to the middle and something like that. So and for the form ramp, remember form ramp is a container, is a division for the whole form. So I may want to set that according to this example. I want to set up the whole form with a white background, and then I'll just come up with this format. So just following, what you need to do is following the hints I give in the file, and you will customize it into start from this one to this one. All right, from this one to this one. So let's do it together. All right, let's do it together. Also, I'm recording this video, so you will be able to see that in the YouTube later. And this is not just let you know, like this is designed to be hard. This is not an easy task. CSS is not something like you can just go straight and know what to edit like in a day. It's not like HTML. So to working with CSS, you have to have some experience. It takes you some to do some practices. We're gonna working on this stuff for 2 weeks. We're gonna start from today and until the whole next week. We're gonna working on these things. And this is just our first practice. And after this, we're gonna have an assignment. And the next week, we're gonna have our assignment 2, which is a list of like about. I ask you to use HTML and CSS to create about 12 files, and you can have a lot of practice on it.
Yeah.
Right. So, and it's not like HTML, CSS. You have like to create some style. You have like a bunch of ways. You can create like you can change background. You can, for example, you can move things to the middle by set up like the text align center. That's gonna move things to the middle. You can also set and some margin to the left and some margin to the right. It's also moved to the center. So there's a lot of ways to do the same thing. That depends on the developer what ways they like. So there's no best ways to do it. So I'm using the ways not the same as yours, but your way that means your way is not working. As long as you did it looks like the same, that means it's equivalent, right? So CSS is just related to style. It's not like something is one way is better than another. As long as they are visually same, that means they are same. Just adding some style to it. All right. So let's start. So in here, for the start, we only need to do adding 3 lines. The first thing we want to do is we want to set up the box sizing into border box. That's going to affect the padding in the future. If I add padding, it's moving things inside, not encrypts the width outside. Remember that the example I showed yesterday? So here we're going to do box sizing. We'll set it to border box. That is the first line we're going to add in. It's not actually going to change anything. All right, so it's still the same. And we want to reset. That's the first thing. The second thing we want to do is reset the margin and the padding. So we're gonna say we're gonna reset the margin equal to 0, padding to 0. Remove all the default padding and the margin, right? So it makes like that. So there's no any padding and the margin on your page. Everything is just getting it together, right? Like adding padding by ourselves. That's the only thing you do, because this is star. To adding stuff inside it is very dangerous, because if you're adding something to it, it's gonna apply into all the things in the page. So we only want to do some reset here. like to reset everything to 0, so we'll be able to working on something depends on our like, right? So we can remove the comments if you do not need them, but you can just leave them there. I just want to make form shorter, right? So second one here in the body.
Oh, I can just look over my shoulder.
Sure, yeah, you can.
Because I can't. My glasses these aren't
Sure.
regular.
So for the body, we want to set the background color into the color I already provided to you. So we're gonna say background. You can say background color or background. It's the same thing. And which color you can just copy from here, right? You can copy from here. I'm gonna paste it over here. That is color for the background. It's gonna change everything into the blue color. All right, give you 1 second to follow up. And also, although I didn't mention you need to change something else, but then you think about it. So if I want to change my font, it's going to go to body, because that's body, change font for the body, change font of everything, right? So actually you need to put the font here. The font I already imported here. If you see the file closely, here is I already imported a Google font here. The family is called Railway. Right? To import it, you're gonna say font family. It's going to be Railway and sans serif. Yeah. This can be found in the Google website. I need you to do a little bit of research. Right? This can be found. This can be found in the font Google website. We change the font of it. It looks a little bit cute, right? So we just add the font family. Let's see. And also, if you want to change the color of the text, you can add it here or add it to somewhere else. You can just leave it right now. Leave it right now. Right? Leave it for now. So we just add the background, change the font family, and then for links. For links, I say the underlines. The underline links are ugly, so we're going to remove the underlines. To remove the underline, it's going to be text decoration. Make it none. That means no underline. I'm going to remove all the underlines for the links. Right? Remove all the underlines for links.
Was I supposed to start this whole thing off with a bracket?
Bracket?
Yeah, at the beginning. You see how you ended? You put that in?
That was there.
Oh, it was there. Okay.
That is there. You can see
it is there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Right. So that is the ending text decoration to remove all the underline for links. All right. That's it for link. I'll give you some time to follow up. You can refresh your page if you're not changing anything. Refresh your page. There's a third one on the right. Yeah. Click that. Click it. Did you click it?
Yeah.
I did. You did.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't save your file. Save your file.
Oh.
Save file. Refresh your page. There you go. Change something. Alright, that is for the links. We're gonna keep moving for the containers. So for the containers, right, so we're gonna say here we're going to move things into the middle. There are two ways. One way is just set like a text align center. Another way to do it, you can just do margin, like 30 pixel for the whole container. It's gonna move things a little bit in center. And also, if you say margin adding auto here, that means it's gonna getting margin from both left and the right. Am I right? I think I'm right. Yeah, margin auto. Remember here I have margin auto on the left and the right will center a block element. So let's keep going. We're gonna also adding some padding to it. Move things a little bit into the center. Adding padding like a 15 pixel to the top and bottom, and 25 pixel to the left and the right. Yeah, move it, make it a little bit better. You know, the number can be adjusted, but it's just some like I can say 20. You can move things down a little bit. If we move 50, if we move down even more. I think 15 may be good enough. It's up to you. If we make 30, it's gonna move things in the middle more, right? This is the number I come up with. Things I feel is good, but it depends on your own experience. I'm sorry, what I'm doing. I shouldn't adding the padding to here because I want to actually add it to the next one. Sorry, let's give me rid of it. I just yeah, I mean I just put it in the wrong place. Right. So this is remember the margins auto, and also we're gonna set up a max width.
We're not putting the padding up there?
No, don't put the padding here. We're gonna put the padding in the next one. Sorry. So this one just margin. And also we're going to set something called a max width. For this one, we're going to see that's going to be the max width of this page. We're going to say it's 400 pixel. So what it does, like it's well, let me see. So if the page getting longer, it will be only takes you 400 pixel space. It won't be extended that. But if the page gets smaller, it will narrow down. It will narrow down, but the maximum of the width is 400. It will be 400 or smaller. All right. If the screen width is getting smaller than 400, it's going to push things in a little bit. You see is the text here. It's getting pushed in a little bit because the screen is too small. But if the screen is bigger than 400, it's not getting extended for more than 400. That is what max width does. That is what max width does. Yes?
So the text, you know how you're getting that the text on the bottom is just like that because you had everything in the border box?
I have ever seen in the container.
Well, like in the beginning, is it like the border, not the border box, but
Box sizing.
Box sizing? Well,
is that what affects the text to look like that?
So if you remove the box sizing, it's not. It's not. I just removed it, and it's not. It's still more like that. See, the box sizing, the way box sizing working is like if I have box sizing, if we do not have box sizing, right? So if I adding some padding to it, for example, if I say instead of saying max width, it's using width, right? So if I say width 400 pixel, it's gonna always be 400 pixel, no matter how big it is. If the screen gets smaller, just adding some horizontal bar here. That is for width, and it's 400. If I adding a padding to it, for example, padding 120 pixel, it's no longer 400. So it's getting bigger than 400. That is not what we want. That's not what we want. That's more than 400. So it still have a scroll bar here. And to adding the box sizing, it's going to make sure that's always going to be 400. It's going to with the box sizing when you're adding padding, it's instead of making the width longer, it's pushes things inside it, make it narrow. Right? It's push the content inside, push in, not push out. Got it? We did it yesterday. All right, we did it yesterday. So let's change it back, remove the padding, change this to max width. This is the original plan. Right? And let's adding some padding to it. Actually, let's adding some padding. Let's adding 20 pixel. Adding some padding to it. So it looks a little bit better. Alright, there's a lot of ways to do it. I'm just showing you the way I used to do, but you can just feel free to start it another way. So we use margin auto on the left and the right. We set up max width. We end some padding. You can even add more if you want. Right, that is for the container. Form wrap. This is a white area around the form and the heading. Right, this is a white area around form and heading. So if you take a look of this class name, form wrap, you can find it in the HTML here. Form wrap right here, class form wrap. It is a container for the both H1 paragraph and the form. Let's start from here until here. Right. You can see if you just click that, it highlights where does it close and where does it open. It starts from there to here. So we're going to adding a white background to it. That is something we want to make it into white background, right? That's something we want to make it into white. So we're going to say background white. That's white color. And we want to shape it a little bit. And the padding 50 pixel on the top and the bottom, and 25 pixel on the left and the right. So adding some padding, move this in a little bit, looks better. And for the font color, I think that's not black color. That's actually a little bit gray. You can still use black; it doesn't matter. But if you want to change the color, I'm actually using the color number 333. That is a little bit darker. I mean, gray color for text. Right. So that is just the text. And let's remove it. Remove the comments.
What's color for?
That's color. Color is 333. Number 333.
What's color?
You just change the font color. I just want to change the font color a little bit, not just too black. If you just remove that, it's just going to be completely black. But I just want to change it to a little bit gray, so I just using this color. You can just feel free to change it to any color you like. Just any color here, right? Any color here. I'm using the number 333 to make it a little bit gray. Right, that's the hex color. And the next one, for the H1 and paragraph in the form wrap, which you basically just sign up, and this is free and only takes a minute. There's 2 lines. Want to move that to the center, so it's going to be text align center. Move the content to the center. Let's do it in the center right now. That's the only thing for this two. Just move them to the center. And the next thing we want to do is for the form group. Each label input is wrapped in the form group. For that, I actually want to add in some margins between each other. Move that, like give some space between each other. Remember, we can just add in some margin to it. We just add in some margin top to each one of them, like a 15 pixel.
I'm sorry, go back up just for a second, please, if you don't mind now.
Adding some margin top to the other form group, so it's getting some space between each other.
Can you explain form wrap, form group? What's that?
That's just a name of class.
Name of
Yeah, see, form wrap, form group. If you scroll down to the bottom, that is just class I designed for them. Form group is a class for the label and input. Form wrap is a white space around H1 and the paragraph and the form. That's just name I put. You basically can name them anything.
Alright.
You basically can name them anything. That's just name I put there.
Wait, can we scroll up back to,
Yeah, of course. Here is where it was.
text align?
Yeah, oh, don't forget semicolon. Semicolon is very important. After each statement, you're going to put a semicolon.
Okay, so why didn't you put a comma between those now?
Right, so here you can see, here there's a comma between the form wrap H1 and the form wrap P. That means I want to apply the style to all the H1 in the form group, form wrap, and also all the paragraph in the form wrap.
Okay.
And next one here, there's no any comment between these two. That means I want to add in margin top 15 pixel for all the form group inside the form wrap.
Gotcha.
There's no AND relationship here. For all the form group inside the form wrap.
Got it.
If there's a comma, it means this one and this one. If there's no comma, just that one inside another one. Yep.
That's why you can do that with class only.
Yeah, you can do that with class only. If you remove that, it still works. But I just want to make it more specific. Like it just, I'm not saying like if I have a really big project, I'm not saying I want to do this for all the form groups across the whole project. I just want to do that for the form group inside the form wrap class, make it more specific. Just for some better practice. All right. So that is for the form for the labels and input, adding some space between them. Next one. This one is saying I want to add some style to the labels inside the form group and inside the form wrap.
Oh.
I say there's no any comma inside it, so I just wanted to be more specific. So that refers to the labels inside form group class, inside the form wrap class, all the labels inside it.
Yeah.
You can just do it for all the labels. It's basically the same thing for this project, but just for better practice, I want to narrow it down to the specific those labels inside this form, not all the labels across my project. Right? Say that again. So here the comment says, let's remove this comment here. That means what down is that. So the comment says here, we want to labels should be turned into block element. What is block element? Yeah, so we have two kinds of elements. We have inline element and a block element. The inline element is only takes the space it needs to display the item. The block element, the block element is gonna take the whole line, no matter how much you want. Maybe the label just 2 characters, but it's still gonna take the whole line. So to do that, we want to separate the label and the input into separate lines. Right, so the label it is by default it is inline, but we can change that in the CSS. We're going to say display block, not inline, display block. We're going to change into block element, and it's going to separate them into 2 lines. Because the label is already takes the whole line, so input going to automatically go to the next line. If you hit F12 and try to try to check it, so the label is actually takes the whole line. Before that, if I remove this line, you see the label is just this size. It's really small. And adding that one is going to take the whole line. Take the whole line. It's not the whole line of the browser. It's the whole line of this parent, which is a container. Any question?
Yeah. I have a question.
Yeah.
But this pertains to what you did yesterday. What's the one that you say when you go to the left corner and you save this so it automatically? What's the one? What was it called?
Oh, that's called the developer tools.
Yeah.
So if you just hit F12, it's gonna bring it up from bottom, and you will on the left here is the elements. You will be able to check all the elements inside it. Also, there is a button on the left corner here. If you click that, you will be able to just move your mouse over to checking the CSS of this stuff. All the styles of it are going to show in here. Also, you can see how much space it has. Does it have some margin? You see this one? It has some green space. Green space are pending, and the yellow ones are margin. Be able to to check it. Also, you can also edit it. Like if you just click this one. Hold it again and click this one. You can add in some element to it. For example, I can say the font size 20 pixel. It's going to make it bigger. 30 pixel. It's going to easier for you to see it, and you can just copy that style to your style sheet, to your CSS file. It's just easier for a second. Once you refresh page, it's gone. It's just for you to try it. You're going to need to move that code into your CSS file to make it permanently working.
Where do you bring up that?
F12, alright, F12, I'm sorry, F12. Or you can just right click the thing you want to see and click this inspect. You can just right click it, click inspect, it's the same thing. It's just going to bring you the element of that. Alright, let's keep going. So we just change the label into block. Right, turn that into block. And next one, input should reach across the form wrap 100% and have some padding. So 2 things, change the width of it, make it longer, and also give it some padding, right? So the thing we're gonna do here is we're gonna say width 100%, make it longer, and I can say I want to have some padding, okay, 10 pixel, maybe good enough. Forget semicolon. Right, so it's become like that. Oh, not padding. Make it too big. Let's say, can I just add some border to it? Maybe border. Let's adding some color to it. Like DDD is a gray color. It's a light gray. 1 pixel. Border solid. Let's see how it looks like. Right, let's make it just make a border a little bit lighter, not that big, not that black, and make it a little bit lighter. And also I can do border radius. Border radius. I want to make it like a 5 pixel radius. Make it like a some circle on the corner. Right, make it like that, a little bit better. Now you can just change the border color by change this border color here. It's going to change the input border. You can change it to any color you like a red one. Turn into red, and change it to just light gray. And you can make it like a even like a wider, like 2 pixel or 10 pixel, even wider. But just I think 1 pixel is good enough. All right. Play around with it, or you can also change it to dashed. Like that, or change it to something like a double line, double. It's gonna be double 2 lines, I believe. Seems like it's not working. Whatever, just using solid is good enough.
So border radius, that's how far the
Border radius is this corner here. If you just say, if you try to change this number like into 20 pixel, you're gonna see the difference. Right, make it more circle. 5 pixel, just make a little bit. You can say like 100 pixel. It's become. I think that's the maximum of it. You can also say you can also using percent value here, like 50%. Let's make that into that. But I think just 5 pixel is good enough. Don't make it too customized. 5 pixel is good enough.
I'm getting this little red line every time I go underneath the semicolon. I don't know.
That means there's some arrow here. Something you say you forget a semicolon here.
Okay.
Yeah. If something red, that means they have some error inside the file.
Okay. That means there's an error.
Might be error before. Yeah, you're already gonna be error before. Right. Right. So we're gonna keep going. Gonna keep going to the button. So button should be wrapped across 100% and display as block. Background color for the button is this color. All right. So the first thing we need to do, let's change the background color of the button. Background color is this one already provided here. So just put that color here. I'm gonna change the background of the button. I change the background of the button. And then we are going to change that into block. As I said, button should wrap across 100 and display as block. So button was by default it was inline, and let's change that to block so we can make it longer. Block. But block itself is not going to do anything, but we're going to also see the width is 100%, so it's going to be longer. Alright, it's going to be longer. And also, if I want to make it even better, make it exactly same as this one, I also need to change a few things. Firstly, I need to say the color of the button. It should be white, right? Make it font into white color. Oops, white color. And also the what's next? Let's say the padding. Let's add some padding around the text. Remember, the padding is a space. Inside the border, outside of the content, that is padding. Inside the border, outside of content, that is padding. Margin is a space outside of the border. So by here I can add in some padding to it, like 10 pixel. I think it's good enough. It's gonna give some extra space to it. Padding. Give some extra space between the content and the border. That is padding. Right? I need some space between the content and the padding. Sorry, and the border. Right. So also, if I want, so you see, the count from password and the padding, they kind of connect together. I can add some space between them. There will be some margin between them, right? Here I can say margin top, and some top between this one and the previous one. I can say just maybe 10 pixel. I think it's actually let's do 20. Make it bigger. Then I need some space between them. Add space outside of the border. And also I can change the cursor. Remember right now if I move the mouse here, it doesn't look like a button. So I can change the cursor into pointer. Oops, not this one. It should be the one here. This one. When I hover it, change the cursor into pointer. Let's do that later. So this one, I think that's it. That's the only thing we need. I think that's the only thing we need. So we're gonna for the button, hover. That's the next one. Let's remove this comment to give it some space here. So for this one, when you hover the button, the background color should change to this color, which is just a deeper green. You should try that background. That is, copy this one into that. Alright. So when I mouse over it, is color change to darker green or darker blue. I'm not sure if it's a green or blue. And also you can see I want the cursor to be pointer. So when I move the mouse over, it's going to change to a pointer. Alright, that is for the button. Keep going. This is for the class bottom text. That is inside the form wrap. Let's see, where is that? Actually, forget it. Bottom text. Looking for that class name. That is here. That is for this paragraph. By clicking the sign up button, and you agree to this paragraph here. It's a style to this paragraph. And according to the comments, it says we want to make the text smaller. Right? We want to make the text smaller. So say font size. We can do 13 pixel, which is smaller. The default is 16, right? Remember, default is 16.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
When I did that last change, you refreshed. I say refresh, and my sign up thing is gone. What do I do wrong?
You're gonna check it, make sure you didn't miss any semicolon, make sure everything you have there.
Back when I'm going to see what long, width, white, Cynthia, and I move my cursor, it's gone.
It's not gone, you just change it to another color, I think.
But this
You misspell the background. Misspell the background.
do what again?
Background, you misspell. Typo. Yeah, background. The first line. First line. We all can see that.
I gotta watch you, man.
Alright, let's keep going, right? Let's keep going. Let's hurry up. So we'll try. I'm trying to do a little bit of rush here, so I can when I finish, I will be able to give you some individual tutorial if I still have questions. All right. So this is we're trying to make the font a little bit smaller for the bottom text here. So I changed the font size to 13. Remember the default one is 16. We change it to 13, make it smaller, so it can fit into here. Looks better. All right. Font size here to be 13, and also we want to move it down a little bit to separate it from the button and the text. So we're going to add in some margin top.
And if we
Margin, top.
change the cursor, we'll put font style.
Font style? No, cursor is cursor pointer. Cursor pointer. Cursor colon pointer. Make it pointer when I move my mouse over. Right.
Okay,
So
I can change that one and it'll change the font.
and for the margin top, adding some 20 pixel here. It's gonna separate the text and the button a little bit. So we move some. We're almost done here. The footer should be centered. Yeah. So let's add it to center. Text align. Center. It's gonna move it to the center. And also I want to change the color of it into white color. Color. White. Let's get into white color. And I can also move it down a little bit. I think, yeah, I have it here. I'll move it down a little bit so I can have a margin top 10 pixel. Move it down a little bit. Separate give it some white space between them. That's for the footer. And for the links in the footer, right? This one refers to links in the footer. We want to change the color of the link into the color provided here. This color here. Color, put it here. Right. Right, that's it. Right, that's it.
Oh, that was her. Oh, that was you.
That was for you too.
Hold on, let me stop the recording.